Hi, everybody. It's Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and Geo Collaborate. Thanks for joining me for this brief weather update today. Have a lot going on here in the office today, talking a lot about wildfires in a meeting remotely from Seattle with the Earth Science Information Partners, talking all about trusted data, how to work with that data, and how things are changing with respect to data access and storage. Well, this update is for the All Hazards Consortium, the sensitive information sharing environment, on this Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. And boy, folks, we have a heat wave. As a matter of fact, the July heat wave over the central to eastern U.S. will continue to produce a widespread region of major heat risks stretching from the central Gulf. You can see that right there. North into the Mississippi Valley, across the Ohio Valley, and into the lower lakes region. That'll be on Thursday, pushing eastward by Friday across the megapolis from Boston to New York City, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Richmond. The mid to upper level ridge that's been anchoring the heat wave will continue to stretch from the eastern portions of the southern plains, east across the lower Mississippi Valley, and also through Ohio and Tennessee valleys into the southern mid-Atlantic. Boy, this upper ridge is likely to remain a dominant force going into this weekend and into next week. I'm going to show you the drought information as well, the drought index. Extreme heat warnings and heat advisories stretch across a large portion of the midsection of the continental United States through much of the Mississippi Valley into the lower lakes. There is approximately, as I said, 107 million people under those extreme heat warnings and heat advisories, with this number likely to increase by Friday as the heat spreads back into the East Coast and the urban corridor. While temperatures will be much above average in the areas affected by this heat wave, there's not expected to be many records on Thursday, and maybe a few more records or near record highs on Friday from Philadelphia into New York City and even southern New England. There will, however, be a better chance of more widespread record high morning lows over the next several days, stretching through the Mississippi Valley into the Great Lakes Thursday and Friday morning, shifting eastward through the East Coast Friday and Saturday morning. This is what it looks like. It is pretty massive and extensive. I'm just going to point this out. All these areas in red that you see, the pink, that is extreme heat warning. Folks, if you don't have to, don't go outside during the late morning to early evening hours. It is going to be blistering hot. Very high humidities, heat indexes close to 110 degrees, maybe a little bit lower down towards the south in Louisiana, but those humidity levels are going to make it very, very oppressive. And you can see, I'll move the map here on Geo Collaborate, move it down just a little bit, how far those heat advisories extend into central Michigan, central Wisconsin, and even into southern Minnesota. With the southeast Minnesota here and most of Iowa. So this heat dome, as I said, is just going to drift slowly to the east. All that warm air, hot air, oppressive air is going to cover basically the entire East Coast. Even in Maine, you're going to see pretty oppressive temperatures on Monday. New Hampshire, Vermont, it's going to be very, very hot. Not a great time to be hiking through the mountains there. Okay, let's shift over to the satellite picture because we do have a potential for some tropical development. At least the National Hurricane Center thinks about a 10% chance of something developing. But remember last week when I mentioned that potential system coming ashore, coming across the Gulf Coast into Louisiana, didn't really create a whole bunch of flooding in New Orleans, just some patches of flood areas. That came up and over the high, back over Tennessee, down into South Carolina. And indeed, some of the DNA is now showing up. Let's take this full screen. Now showing up in parts of the Atlantic again. So this is the area that we're watching. It doesn't really look very impressive, just an area of very weak low pressure that's going to be moving over across Florida once again. It's like a pinwheel, right? Going around and around. And then the National Hurricane Center is watching this area in the Gulf. And I'll take you back over to GeoCollaborate full screen and just show you where that looks like and where the area they're talking about. So here's that area of weak low pressure around northeast Florida, southeast Georgia right now, kicking up some showers and thunderstorms. I've got the radar turned on as well. And you keep getting slammed with some showers and storms in central Florida as well because of this area of low pressure. But that's expected to move down a little bit deeper over water this time into the Gulf. And the Hurricane Center gives it, a 10% chance of developing in the next 2 days and a 10% chance of developing over the next 7 days. So we'll be watching it. There's not a lot of confidence that something's going to develop here, but whenever the Hurricane Center says we're keeping an eye on it, we want to watch extra close. And we know that all of you living along the Gulf Coast are very, very interested in keeping updated and very concerned about anything that might develop. Right now, it's very low, but we are going to keep our eyes on it. Back over to the satellite picture, this is what it looks like. And you can see I've turned on the sea surface temperature data as well. And it's very warm in the Gulf of Mexico, abnormally warm. It's also warm in the Caribbean. There's a little bit of cool waters off the coast of South America because of runoff from a lot of rain that they've been getting there. And that's keeping those water temperatures cool. It's also putting a lot of nutrients into the Caribbean. We are working with the Integrated Ocean Observing System and the Southeast region, SICORA, and also CARICOOS, the Caribbean Regional Association for the Integrated Ocean Observing System. And they're monitoring the movement of this sargassum. And we are getting reports of sargassum washing ashore on some of the Florida beaches around Miami Beach, areas to the north as well. And they're trying to clear the beaches overnight and into the early morning hours. But I'm sure if you're down there vacationing, you're seeing it on the beach. Hopefully it's not too much of a distraction from having a great time if you're actually on vacation. So it's not really too exciting, this system that we're watching, perhaps diving into the Gulf, and we'll see if it spins up. We are having a number of thunderstorms, though, developing in Nebraska. There's some big storms there, severe thunderstorm warnings, 2.5-inch hail, radar indicated there, and also some thunderstorms. Let's take a quick little tour with the high-resolution 1-minute imagery from GOES, and look at this. I'll refresh this imagery too and get some of the latest data in here. Wow, look at that thunderstorm. You can see that bubbling right up. Now, where is this? This is southern Illinois right here. This is Indiana. Here's western Kentucky. And this is where we have this line of thunderstorms that is developing. And whenever they're developing, moving over the same area, that's called training. So there could be some flood warnings, and we'll be monitoring flooding in those areas. This is what happens when you have heat advisories. You don't have a whole huge area of showers and thunderstorms developing, but when they do develop, they tend to move slow. And we also have serious rain falling and a lot of lightning. Let's go over and I'll show you another section with this high resolution imagery. Look at this. This is North Platte, Nebraska. I'll update this too real time as this 1 meter imagery comes in from the GOES satellite. This is the GOES East satellite. Let's zoom in a little bit. Look at that, North Platte. You are getting pounded right now. It is 5:33 Eastern time, Central time 4:30. Look at all these bubbles, these big thunderstorms bubbling up, moving right towards North Platte. Also in Lincoln County, severe thunderstorm warning. Let's take a look over at the Doppler radar and I'll get a little bit closer on this cell. Here it is. I've zoomed right in over North Platte, Nebraska. Look at this. Anytime you see purple in these radar echoes, that is hail. And it does look like they've had, let's see, anywhere from 1.25 inch hail detected by the radar, 50 mile per hour wind gusts. Let me see. I'm just searching all these warnings that are going on here. The North Platte is a flood warning. That's a flash flood warning that's in effect. And we can go and just take a look at the major flood warnings that are out there right now. This is updated every couple of minutes through GeoCollaborate and Storm Center Communications here. I'll move the flood warning over here. So Keith, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska, Larimer, Colorado, and Rio Grande, Colorado. They are under flash flood warnings right now. But this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Let me go over to our severe thunderstorm watch area. This is highlighting any severe thunderstorm activity. This one just issued, blinking, Lincoln, Nebraska. That is Lincoln County in Nebraska. And so you can see all these going on. Let me up, and it looks like there was just a tornado warning issued to this one to the northeast. So let's go over and take a look at that. There's a tornado warning that was just issued right here near Sargent. Big hail, and also we have radar indicated rotation. Let me just change this quickly over to velocity and see where that tornado may be. Whenever we see red and green next to each other, yep, that's where this could be here, right approaching Sargent. This tornado warning is in effect, and I'm going to click on that here for the next 24 minutes. So 24 minutes from 4:36 p.m. The severe thunderstorm warnings are also updating live on the screen here. I'll bring the radar data over right here so you can see it. Whenever we see that red next to the green right here, this could indicate rotation. That's why there is a tornado warning in Nebraska for Custer County and also Garfield and Loop counties. Hail 1 inch or more, and it's a radar indicated tornado. So get to a place of safety, and this will be passed by the time this video gets uploaded. But just want to make sure that you're aware that we're watching it, and at some point in the near future, maybe we'll go live with some of this information if it impacts some of the work that the All Hazards Consortium is doing, moving fleet utility vehicles across the country to restore power. That's really one of the reasons that we do these briefings. Let's go back to that satellite picture because it is very impressive. Here is that thunderstorm just to the north that's producing that tornado. This is it right here. And that is really bubbling up. Look at that. Has a strong outflow as well, strong gust front, but you can see the shadow. Look at that. The sun shining on this bubbling anvil from the cumulonimbus cloud, casting the shadow down. And this is a very strong outflow boundary that is happening from this thunderstorm that has now gone tornadic. So yes, a tornado warning coming out of this particular storm right now. Okay, looking out west very quickly, it looks like we have very benign weather. As a matter of fact, cooler temperatures along the coastline, along the Pacific Northwest, even down towards California. The real heat is shifting to the east and Midwest and going towards the East Coast. And that is something that needs monitoring. Again, boy, 107 million people will be impacted by this heat wave. In the meantime, there is a trough of low pressure over the west. That's going to move in slowly over California. And while it won't produce a lot of rain for you guys in California, it may produce some thunderstorm activity. And we always worry about thunderstorm activity because lightning can cause some of those wildfires. And we're very concerned about that. I was in a meeting today about getting access to live cameras monitoring wildfires throughout Washington and Oregon. And we'll be working with that, and maybe we'll show some of those on our video updates as well. Let me go back to GeoCollaborate here just for a second because I want to show you this is a severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued in central Wisconsin. And you can see that line of thunderstorms headed down into where it's very hot all around here. But this is where the heat advisory areas are as well. So just very uncomfortable. And again, over in Nebraska, these are where the tornado warnings were just issued. You can see those polygons right here, the red ones. That's a tornado warning, and also a tornado warning in this one. I showed you those two thunderstorms that are really bubbling up very quickly. So keep your eye on your local broadcast meteorologist in Nebraska, also the National Weather Service. Whenever a tornado warning is issued, the NOAA weather radio gets that signal. It goes off and immediately tells you what to do. You can program those NOAA weather radios as well for your local area, your county, and in some cases, even a sub-county. You can program your NOAA weather radio so it doesn't go off all the time and bother you. It really can save your life. NOAA weather radio. Make sure you look it up and get one. Think about it for Christmas gifts. We just gave a talk yesterday, Dr. Ellen Prager and I, to a assisted living and independent living facility in Bethesda, Maryland. And many of them said they're going to be getting NOAA weather radios after our talk to give to their children and grandchildren for Christmas presents. Okay, while I have this GeoCollaborate up, I'm going to display for you where the drought conditions are, because we do have a lot of drought developing out west. I have these advisories on for the heat, and there's scattered thunderstorms in these areas. There's some severe thunderstorm warnings, as I just mentioned, in some areas. But look at how dry it is again out west. From San Antonio west, not northwest, where Kerr County is. They had some floods, but it's been quite dry there now. They're not in a rainy pattern currently. But even over towards New Mexico, Arizona, where yes, it is typically dry, but it's even drier than normal. This is severe drought conditions. And even over towards California, there is concerning drought coming back once again, and that extends on up into the Pacific Northwest. It has been a beautiful several days in Seattle, down towards Portland, hardly a cloud in the sky. And so this is where I'm going to end this update, and that is just to say that heat is going to be the story throughout the Midwest over to the east. It's going to be very hot from Florida up to Maine, and you're going to wish it was fall. Fall is coming. It's getting closer every day. Every day it's getting closer. But until that happens, we're going to have to deal with a lot of this heat. And it's not getting any better. Year after year, we seem to be getting more widespread heat waves that last a little bit longer. And the rain that we get seems to come in heavier dumpings. A lot of flash flood warnings. Matter of fact, I think you heard me mention that the other day, where the National Weather Service up to Monday had issued a record number of flash flood warnings in National Weather Service history. Just incredible. Well, that's the outlook and the briefing for today. I'm Dave Jones with Storm Center Communications and GeoCollaborate. Thanks so much for watching. Please watch out for yourself and watch out for your neighbors. They really do appreciate it. In the future, we're going to bring you some more information on wildfires, and we're also watching that system that's going to be moving into the Gulf, likely not going to be developing into anything very concerning, but we're going to watch it for you. As long as the Hurricane Center is watching it, we're going to be watching it too. Have yourself a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.